Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Another episode. So today we got a recipe of craziness going on. We have the once seemingly best friends now warring on Twitter or X, Truth Social, and things are impacting, specifically the Tesla stock. Also, price of Bitcoin has gone down because of macro issues. Just a lot going on, and I'm gonna cover it in this video here. So guys, if you like the video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my content, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified when I come out with new content. I'm just a regular guy, just looking at crypto from a regular guy's lens, right? I'm not here to shill anything. Small channel, and I invest every paycheck for building a new future for myself, some financial freedom so I can get out of the rat race. But I'm trying to skim through all the crap and make sure that I'm making the wise investments. So that's the purpose of my videos here. So today's very interesting. Let's see what's going on, right? A lot of craziness happening right now. So if we look at the Fear and Greed Index, which measures the sentiment as far as the market goes for crypto, right now we're still positive, right? We're still trending green. We're 55, but you see pretty soon we're about to hit that neutral factor as soon as we hit 50%. And depending how the next couple of weeks go, we can easily get down here. Um, so normally when I see this helps me understand when I have a good DCA, entry point into some of the stocks that I want to get into, as well as crypto related stocks and crypto. So this is a good gauge for me to figure out where I want to be. So right now we're still in greed, right? But there's still some juicy entries that we'll talk about a little bit later. So here, $621 million in Bitcoin and crypto liquidated as the Trump-Musk meltdown hits critical mass. So that, if you could tell by the thumbnail, is what we're going to talk about. And there's just been a lot going on. Obviously, the current president passed a bill, or he, implemented a bill. And within that bill, there's some stuff in there that Elon totally disagrees with. We know that he was the figurehead for the Doge initiative that had a lot of, cuts for the government jobs. And he said he was, just trying to trim all the fat from waste in our budget. And now when he looks at this bill that is, according to certain people, will add $5 trillion to the current already crazy 36 trillion deficit that we have, he just couldn't stomach it. So he spoke out against it. And if you know anything about our current president, that's something that you don't do. Publicly, you don't talk crap about him. So now they're going back and forth. He's threatening to cut some government subsidies, and he's responding. And a lot of this is just, it's a lot of soap opera, and it's actually entertaining to watch. But that's what's going on right now. And that's impacting the price of the Tesla stock. And other macro issues is also impacting the price of Bitcoin and crypto. And we'll go over that. So price of Bitcoin at the time of this video is $101,000. So the past 7 days, we've seen a decrease of 4%. ETH has been pretty active, but it's also being impacted by everyone else, the market right now. So the past 24 hours, ETH is down 6%. It's at $2,400. XRP is down 4%, 4.7%, $2.10. Solana has taken a heavy hit, right? Past 24 hours down 5.6%. Past 7 days down 13.5%. And then you have ADA down to 63 cents, down 5.78%. Past week down 13.7%. Hyperliquid trying to creep up into the top 10. That is not down as much. If we see for the past 7 days, it's still up 7.6%. And it's probably due to all the hype between the that trader, James Nguyen, how he got liquidated going long on Bitcoin. He definitely promoted the hell out of Hyperliquid, and I think that has something to do with it. But look at Sui. Sui's down under $3, y'all. It had the big issue, with the big DEX that got hacked. And, some validators got together to reverse the transaction. So now it's questionable whether it's decentralized or centralized. Nonetheless, it's down 16.8% for the past week, down 7% for the day. So there's a lot of these alts aren't doing that great right now. Look at Avalanche. Avalanche is under $20. So down 16% for the week and down for the day 6.6%. So alts are bleeding. So whenever you see Bitcoin go down, you better believe altcoins are going down even harder if it's not altcoin season. So that's what we're seeing right now. So let's try to dig in and see what's going on macro wise that's causing this bloodbath. Not really a bloodbath, it's just a little haircut. For me, DCA opportunity for sure. But we see that, the ongoing debate between President and Musk says President called Musk crazy and suggested that he may target the Tesla CEO government contracts. So we know Musk is also CEO of SpaceX, which is, in my opinion, one of the great companies giving internet access to third world countries. I cruise a lot, and even on cruises, just the internet connection before start SpaceX, you can't compare it. It's crazy. He's also, let's see here, he founded the Boring Company, XAI, and Neuralink. And he also owns social media platform X. So let's go over some of these, some of the drama that's going on. So Elon posted, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. So you're already seeing they're going tit for tat now. Then you have here he's saying, the president at one point said, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. So, you could tell that this is, whatever, because at some point, Elon did have the Teslas in front of the White House, and Trump was kind of, praising them. And then this is just us today. This is a meme that I thought was pretty funny, just showing Twitter today, just looking at the ongoing spat between these two powerhouses. These two alpha males, pretty, strong and powerful. And there can never be two kings. So whenever I saw this relationship, I kind of figured this is the way it would end. But right now, Twitter, this is all of us right now, just looking at them go back and forth. It's pretty entertaining and scary at the same time. So price of Tesla at the time of this video, $200.84.70, down 14.2% for the day. And the longer this thing goes on, I think it might go down even further. And if you ask me, I'm a buyer of Tesla. And the more and more this goes on, it betters me because I have a better entry point into this company. I think this company is a great buying opportunity for me in my lifetime. Not financial advice. People kind of look at this as only a car company, but it's way more than that. Technology they have for full self-driving, robotics, they have insurance, they have the energy. It's way more than just a car company. It's an AI company, if you ask me, because that full self-driving technology they have is AI. So I'm a buyer. So the longer the spat goes on, I hope it goes on for a little bit longer so I can have a better entry point. So if we look at the national debt here, which is what kind of started all of this when they asked Elon about this new spending bill that's going to be passed, is the debt. He can't stomach that it's going to add to the debt. His goal in Doge was to cut debt, cut government waste, and this is going totally against that. Currently, we're at 36 trillion, about to be 37 trillion. And I believe President was quoted as saying, let's get rid of the debt ceiling limit. So if that happens, you could just see this just going higher and higher and higher. And as a country, the way we're going to have to pay our debt is probably to print more money. And if we print more money, more fiat, that dollar that we hold is going to be diminished as far as the, purchasing power. And already 5 years ago, what we would have bought for $50 right now, we probably got to pay $70, $75 more for. So I could just imagine if this actually happens and the debt just goes higher and higher, fiat is just going to dwindle away. That's why we need hard assets. And that's why I invest in Bitcoin, just because I need something strong. I need something that over time is just going to appreciate versus fiat, which is going to diminish my purchasing power. So that's the main reason I got into Bitcoin. And this is a scary, scary thing. And if you don't know anything about it, I suggest you just take a look at, the 10-year and, just take a look at bonds and what they're all about. And just take a look at the history of fiat and how most global currencies within 200 years, they falter and fade away. And Bitcoin was offered as a solution to protect us from stuff like this. Also, macro conditions. Corporate layoffs have ramped up in recent weeks, and here are the companies making some cuts. And some of the companies listed: Walmart, Amazon, Microsoft, Procter and Gamble have announced job cuts in recent weeks. Now, Musk also said that if this spending bill gets passed, that he anticipates second, third quarter, fourth quarter, that we may enter a recession. Now, this just could all be, him just, upset and everything like that. But other economists are suggesting that. And if that were to happen, we have ongoing tariffs, disputes. We don't know how that's going to play out, and the market is kind of reactive to that. You have good news, market goes up; bad news, market goes down. We don't know what's happening with that and how that's going to impact us as consumers. But that is going to be interesting. So we have all these dark clouds all above us, and we don't know what's going to happen. My hope is that it's all just talk, and then at the end of the year, we have a blow off top, and we're all having good times and just laughing about this moment. But right now, there's a lot of uncertainty, and what markets don't like is uncertainty. So with all that said, we have job market shrinking. I think there was a report earlier this week where private sector jobs was less as far as what the market anticipated. That was also not good news. Jerome Powell spoke last week, and there was an indication that he wasn't cutting interest rates. But if you look at Charlie Bayle, if you don't follow him on Twitter, he's a good follow for stuff like this. He talks about the central bank cuts all across the world. And for some reason, we are steadfast in not cutting. But we see the other countries are doing it. ECB cut their rates for the 8th time in the last year. So you look at this. Everybody cut. Switzerland cut March 25th, last time they cut. Denmark, they cut this month. They did that. ECB, Eurozone, they cut. They had that. Just a lot of cuts all the way down, right? You have some hikes, but for the main part, a lot of people are cutting. A lot of these central banks are cutting. And for some reason, we have not done that. The last time we cut was in December of 24. So when would Jerome Powell cut? According to the Market Watch here, so we have a Fed meeting June 18th, which is in a couple of weeks from now. 97.5% say no cut. And July 30th, that's the next one, 67.9% or 68% say no cut in July either. September is probably our greatest chance for a cut, and at that point, 53.9% believe we will get a quarter point reduction. So we'll see. We'll see with that. And the problem I have with this personally is, Powell said that the only weapon he has in his toolbox to fight inflation is to cut demand. You cut demand with high-ass interest rates where you can't, cost more to buy a house, cost more to pay your credit cards back, cost more for a mortgage. But I don't think it's working. I mean, that's just my opinion. When I step foot outside my house, everything that I buy is more money. It kind of makes me just want to stay in the house. So if you want to grow the economy, grow GDP, you got to do something, man. You got to cut these rates. I mean, look at everyone else. Everyone else, they're doing it. And right now, people are struggling all across the country. You see repos are high, delinquencies for credit cards. It's a sad ordeal. And that's why we Bitcoin. Looking at coin shares, though, this is week ending last week. There was an outflow for this quarter for Bitcoin ETFs. It was very interesting. Even IBIT, BlackRock's ETF, they're normally known for just buying when other people are selling, but they sold too. But week ending last week, there was an outflow of $8 million. Ethereum had an inflow of $321 million. And that was due to BlackRock. There's talks of them filing for another ETF offering staking. So in a sense, yield. So if you buy that ETF, you'll be getting paid back in yield in ETH. And that's very attractive to some people. So Ethereum has had a little rejuvenation here. But again, like I just showed you in CoinMarketCap, the company, all the altcoins are going down a little bit. But Ethereum has a life. And if this narrative continues and the market picks back up, Ethereum will have, I think it'll do well this cycle. Solana had an inflow of 1.5 million. XRP, look at that, outflow of 28.2 million. Sui had an inflow of 2.2 million. So even with the FUD of the hack and everything like that, they're still doing all right. And I just showed you the price of SUI is under $3 right now. Personally, I think that's a good DCA play. Litecoin was null. Cardano had an inflow of 100,000, and Chainlink had an inflow of 800,000. So that's what the institutions are buying currently. Elsewhere, we have Circle stock. They IPO today, and it went crazy. So I want to say the end price of their stock was around $80. So it opened at a $31 stock price. Then it surged 235% in the first hours before closing the day at $82. Interesting. Circle stablecoin issuer, we know, and their ticker is CRCL if you are interested. But that is a crazy IPO day right there. Looking at Bitcoin treasuries, we see MicroStrategy still top dog at 580,250 Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy Sailor, he's been DCAing every week. Someone like that, he doesn't care what the price is. He's still DCAing into Bitcoin. That's who I follow. Someone that's made it, someone that's successful, someone that understands money, and he doesn't care what the price is. He's still buying because he knows where it's going. And I just showed you what's going on with our debt and everything like that. Fiat is just, the days are numbered. Maybe not in our lifetime. I don't think it'll diminish. Maybe not even in our kids' lifetime, but the purchase power will definitely be diminished. And that's why we Bitcoin and HODL. Also, current president, True Social, files for a Bitcoin ETF. So he's all in for Bitcoin and crypto. And this is what we wanted. For the longest time, we thought, hey, what if we didn't have Gensler around? What if we had the government that embraced crypto? And right now we have it. Company affiliated with him as well. They're looking to start up a wallet. So things are positive crypto-wise. We just have a lot of macro issues that are holding us back. Once we get some of that out the way, things will be great. And I talked about the Ethereum ETF. BlackRock snaps up 560 million in ETFs. And if this passes and we have a friendly government, SEC, most likely, if BlackRock's involved, they will pass it. And where you can have an ETF where you get some staking rewards, that'd be great. That'd be good for ETH. So lastly, in some Solana news, we have the Seeker, the Solana phone part 2. Some deliveries will be taking place in August, but they announced that they will have an SKR token. And I'm very excited for this. I did order this phone. Can't wait for it to come. With the first phone, there were a lot of airdrops. You made more than double, triple the money you spent on the phone just from the airdrops alone. Now you're going to get a token affiliated with it to help the economy of this phone. I can't wait to see what happens with it. Just super excited. And that's happening in August. So historically, guys, in stocks and in crypto during the summer, things are pretty, slow, low volume. A lot of people vacationing. I'm not focused on this. My plan is fourth quarter. This when I really expect things to happen. Historically, that's when altcoin season typically takes place. Bitcoin tops off around that time. And I'm just still DCAing. I still believe it. So hopefully it happens end of this year. Maybe it doesn't happen the end of this year. Maybe it happens first quarter next year. Either way, I'm still a believer in crypto. I hope you are too. Don't give up. Still remember why you got into this, why you DCA, why you Bitcoin, why you hold certain altcoins is to get out of the rat race. And with strong conviction, make sure you're DCAing into the right projects. We will get there. Definitely, we will get there. Just continue to have faith. When things look dark, just, like I say, continue to have faith, diamond hands, get rid of the crap and stick with the good projects, stick with the Bitcoin, my financial advice, and you will prevail. So that's today's video, guys. And let's hope tomorrow and this weekend's a bit better. Talk to you later. Bye.